Good one. Coach Wood, opening statement on stats of the team so far in camp. What was the questions?
We're in week 3 now? Going on week 3 right now. So the guys are kind of chopping at the bit to play a football game. It's getting a little chippy out there. They get tired of seeing each other. Been going at it for about 3 weeks now. So you want to see that with your football team. A little edge, offensively, defensively, special teams, and they're really competing at a high level. We still got a lot of evaluations going on for as positions on this football team with our coaching staff, and we're going to continue that. This is a big evaluation this week, and we'll probably be breaking camp towards the end of this week and getting ready for South Carolina State on next week, so I look forward to it.
I know that at your scrimmage, we found out that there were 3 quarterbacks that were standing to the top, so
yeah.
I just got to ask first, what have you just liked about those 3 in particular and kind of what they've shown you here?
All of them have the ability to make plays. All 3 do bring something a little different to the game, with Jason, Jacobian, and Zai, but all 3 have made plays. We're very talented at the receiver position, and we just ask that they go out there and, operate the offense the right way and give those guys a chance on the perimeter, and they've done that. Jason has been good at times, Jacobian has been good, and Zai has been good. So it's a good problem to have when you have 3 guys, still fighting for that position. And the one that shows leadership and the team rallies behind, that'll be the guy.
How have the wide receivers done, and any of the receivers done kind of, obviously you want them to perform well, and the quarterbacks are throwing to them too. So any of those guys, how have they been developing too?
Oh man, they've been phenomenal. They've been phenomenal. Isaiah Spencer has been a pleasant surprise. A local kid here from Madison Central has been, a pleasant surprise. But Rico Powers has been good. Rico Elliott played with me when I played, but Rico Powers has been good. A guy that returned from last year. Duke Miller has been a pleasant surprise, and Fabian. All those guys. It's quite a few in that room that's, going to be fighting for playing time on the field, and that's what you want at that position. But all are playing well, executing, making big plays. Rico made a big play today, went probably about 50, 60 yards out there in practice. So we're excited about him, and that's what we tell the quarterbacks. Don't go out there and try to put too much on your shoulders. Allow those guys around you to, go out there and make plays and do all the hard stuff.
Let me just ask real quick, why is Isaiah Spencer standing out to you?
He's shown the ability to make big plays. Anytime a freshman can come in early on and compete on the college level, you chose the right guy. He was a highly touted kid coming out of Madison Central this past year, and we was excited to get him in here. For him to be this far along, it's a pleasant surprise for the receiving core. And he competes. He competes on a day-to-day basis. He just blends in with those older guys and looks like he's ready to play right now.
Out of those 3 quarterbacks that you said that have made some plays, was there a performance between any of the 3 that really shocked you in a good way, that they've kind of shown more in their growth?
Yeah, all of them has been throwing the ball well. My biggest thing with all 3 is just don't turn it over. And at times we have turned the ball all over a couple times in camp. They corrected those mistakes and continue to play football. But all of them can throw the snot out of the ball. Every one of them I'm excited about. We'll continue to evaluate the position, and in the end we'll figure out who that guy is going to be.
Coach, on ones versus ones, who has the edge, offense, defense, or the fluctuate?
Well, anytime, defense is going to always play it faster. The calls are a little more limited, what they have to do, so they're kind of ahead right now, playing with a lot of energy to me right now, flying around, making a lot of plays, and we got a lot of depth on that side. But it's been tick for tack, but I will get an edge to the defense right now because the offense, you got to think a little more, execute a little more, and, things come a little slower on the offensive side of the ball, things I've learned in my coaching career. So defense has the edge right now. And then they got quite a few guys on that side that returned from last year's team too. So they have the edge with the energy and the way they're executing right now as a unit.
Quarterback battles seem to be a theme across the state right now. Last week, Lane Kiffin said it was his own quarterback battle that since there's no preseason games or anything, it's really going to take time seeing those guys in game action to decide who's going to be the starter. Do you kind of feel the same way with your battle?
No doubt. I mean, I think that's the thing right now overall for our football team. We getting after each other. The energy level is high. They're doing everything we're asking them to do. But it's hard to gauge until you play against somebody you don't know, until you play against that opponent, which will be South Carolina State for us. But you just got to continue to evaluate those guys, hold them accountable. and just make sure they're ready day one. But you know, I think you hit it on the head. Till you play that first game and get out there against an opponent, you know, some guys, some players, a coaching staff that you don't know, then you're able to get a real gauge on your football team where you're at that point.
Coach, can you talk about your relationship with Buddy Pugh, the friendship, and you guys go back from when you were at North Carolina Central?
I mean, you're talking about a legend that's been doing it for a long time. I think he's been at South Carolina State 20 plus years as a coach. You know, a lot of winning, put a lot of guys in the NFL, but great football mind that's been doing it, you know, overall 40 plus years. So we talked at the MEAC SWAC press conference, and anytime you can get around a coach like that with that kind of knowledge, you just try to pick their brain and, you know, pick up some tidbits there, and hopefully you can, you know, be coaching that long of a time. He asked me about that, you know, talking about coaching 20 plus years at one spot, and I said basically, shoot, coach, if you getting that those kind of years in coaching, you had a lot of success. So I hope I could get half of that.
Coach, where would you, how would you gauge the play of the offensive line right now?
They're coming together. I think they're coming together. There's a lot of new faces up front. You know, Evan Henry has been playing great football for us, the returning starter from last year. Kurt Ford has been pleasant, that was around here last year. There's quite a few new faces over there, but Coach O has been doing a great job. Coach Anye Buwaga, a guy that was with me at Central, he'll get it together. You know, I trust in his coaching, his ability to put a group together on the field. You know, we'll get the 5, 6, 7, 8 guys together in that group to go out there and protect whoever the quarterback is. And we've been preaching run the football. And we've been doing a good job of running the football. So I have total confidence in them. You know, like Coach Bradley, our D-line coach, says all the time, big man lead the way.
Obviously, Jackson State, we talked a lot last year about how special teams just made significant differences in a lot of those closer games to have an undefeated season. Where would you say this year's unit for special teams is, kicking, things like that, after the success last year? Just what do you need to see from them to build up?
Just carry that consistency from last year. You know, we still got a great kicker in here in Gerardo. Matt Knoll is an All-American punter that can really hit the ball, and we got some guys that can return the football. Seven McGee is going to be electric back there, punt returns and kickoff returns for us, and quite a few other guys. We talked about Isaiah Spencer. He'll have an opportunity to do some things back there. And then anytime you're deep as you are on the defensive side in the secondary and linebacker position, receiver room, that equates to great special teams play, I think. You know, and my deal on special teams is just don't find ways to beat yourself. You know, protect the football, no block punts, make sure we're protecting, you know, and doing things the right way, and no silly penalties out there on special teams.
They do it.
Anything else you want to add? Anything else you want to add?
No, I'm good, man. I got to get to work.